Making a video is very hard, I think, because you're going to constantly say something and they want to change it, or you think you say something stupid, and then, anyways, so I don't know how many times I've actually recorded a video right now. My name is Christian Ramirez. I'm in California, and I want to help people financially. I want to make it so easy for them to learn, and in categories, so it's not kind of all over the place like these other financial blogs I've been listening to or looking at. And I don't want to. It's all over the place. I want to make sure you go through categories and then through levels up to a certain point, and you can go to the next one or you can skip. I listen to Pat Flynn's podcast, and I like that way that it's in order. I like the way it's like 1 all the way to 300 for his SPI, 1 through 1,000, and I think it's 3 or 4 right now. I haven't checked recently, and it's in order. So I can tell you, go to podcast, Ask Pat number 906, and you would know exactly where to go to. So I wanted to put that in. I like the fact that it was in order like that. Maybe it's just because I'm a perfectionist, I want things a certain way. Where I'm at today is bought a house last year at 3.5, APR. I got a 2016 Highlander. The year I got it 2 years ago, and then I bought a couple months ago, actually probably like 6 months ago, 5 months ago. I got a 2018 Tundra, which we're in right now. And the way I got there from my family's moving every year is, like I said, I joined the Marine Corps, and in the Marine Corps, I just found myself talking about finance only because one time I wanted to buy a motorcycle in Camp Pendleton, and everybody had a Gixxer, and I was like, I want a motorcycle too. So I went ahead and I looked around, found one, awesome, applied. Sorry, you need a cosigner. What the hell is that? And your credit score is this low. How did that happen? Why? You don't know, but nobody knows these things just off the bat. Especially out of high school, joined the military. I was only in the military at that time, I think 3 years, and they're telling me about this, and I'm like, no, I want to be independent. I don't want to be, relying on somebody else when it comes to aspects like that. So I went ahead and I researched and I bettered my score. I paid off that motorcycle and never had that guy bugging me again, which is a good friend. He was a really good friend for helping me in that aspect. And I just learned. And the more I learned about credit score, I did a competition with my friends at work. I was like, who has the best score? And it kind of came in line with budgeting, because you have to kind of cut back on your expenses. You have to cut back on your debt. You want to make sure your debt utilization was all the way down below 10%. At the time, I think it was like 15%. Then it went down to 10%. So the more I learn, the more I tell friends, do this, do that, do this. We had money. We had a paycheck every, 1st and 15th. So we could do that. I know most guys that join the military are young and they just want to go spend money. So I told them, we have the expenses, we have the finances to go ahead and cut back on our debt. Not because, who has the least amount of debt. It was just about the score. And that, to me, that was like a competition. So we all competition against on who has the best score. And the more we learned, we bettered ourselves, in life, because we felt like we weren't struggling financially. And that helped our families out, because everybody started teaching their families about credit scores and budgeting and whatnot. And as I grew up, as I learned, I guess I can say growing up, because I was only at 21, and at 22 I started learning more. 23 started learning more. 24, and I got married, and I saw that when it comes to finances, I didn't want to move into my wife's home with their parents and just getting a job all over again. And then my wife just got pregnant, so come on, like, this is kind of, I couldn't just get out and live with them. I had to be on my own. We had to make sure I supported my family. So I stayed in for another 4 years. And in those 4 years, again, I'm grateful to God that He put me where He needed me. And He gave me the friends that I had and helped them out however way I can. And I never thought in the last, finance was never going to be for me. I just thought, I'm just going to learn about this so I can help myself and help friends and move on. I thought mechanic was going to be my passion, because I was a mechanic in the Marine Corps, and I became a manager, right, babysitter, and I don't like doing that. So I got out. I saw nearby, I'm in Riverside area, so I wanted to be a mechanic, so I found a mechanic job. And I was doing that for about 3 or 4 months, and I thought that was my passion. I was excited to go home all dirty and nasty, and I was like, I'm a hard worker. And sure enough, I was just sitting there and I was like, I don't think I want to do this for the rest of my life. I know it's, I'm grateful. I am grateful for getting a job. I'm grateful for having what I have, and I'm constantly, you want to bust your ass at work, of course, so you can get promoted or move up, and again, make it a competition on your fellow employees and your peers, so you get paid more, of course, to support your family. And who doesn't want to get paid more? But I also had guys walking up to me because they knew I was about finance. Like, what's a good rate? What's a good rate for your home, your cars, credit cards? How can you help us improve our lives, basically, and help save for our kids? And that's why I created Sootomoto.com, and that's SOOTOMOTO.com, and that just means whatever you want it to mean. That word Sootomoto is just, I Sootomoto you. It means I love you, or I Sootomoto you, I hate you. It just means whatever you want. So I just kind of like, I used that in high school. So I was like, I'm just gonna make this. This is my own personal brand, like the way Pat Flynn talks about, and it's gonna be me. It's my personal blog. I can write whatever the heck I want. I just wanted it, and obviously in that website, I just created like a month and a half ago, so it's super fresh, and not even one blog post is on there right now. That's how fresh and brand new this thing is. But the reason why that is because I want to make sure that I got my domain, I got it on Twitter, I got it on Facebook, I got it on Instagram, Pinterest, and I want to make sure I pull those up, just like the way Gary V says. He said, hey, just, it's good to have everything on your side, just in case it does blow up. I have all that. Nobody's gonna take it from me, so I have all those already belonging to me. So what I'm gonna do is I want to teach people finances as basic as possible in a strategic order, where they're just going to, like I said, World 1. You'll see that World 1 have levels 1 through 10, maybe have a boss level, which would be like the test or something, and then go to World 2, and that's about credit. So the World 1 is budget, World 2 is credit, and you're gonna learn the details of it, the very core details of what can improve your life, without me constantly explaining to everybody. And I'm glad to do it. I found myself repeating myself over and over and over. I was like, you know what? I heard Pat Flynn about this online business, entrepreneurship, and I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to open my business, in the future. But he kept saying, just go for it. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and make those steps. So what I did was, I opened up the website. I started creating it myself. I'm not the best. I'm still learning the plugins. I'm still learning how to even type correctly, make sure the wording sounds perfect so that people understand it, instead of just kind of writing a lot of stuff. And I see that a lot of financial blogs are just kind of cluttered. And I want to make sure it's very in order. And you can tell your friends, hey, go to listen to World 1 Level 5, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. And they'll learn, and I'll have little spreadsheets or calculators, however I can, so I can improve your life. And that's pretty much it. I just